Welcome to the Expect Success Podcast, a presentation of GeorgeBollick.com with your host, George Bollick. This podcast is for all things personal development. Don't expect success, prepare for it. Please welcome your host, George Bollick.
Welcome to Expect Success at GeorgeBollick.com. Now, in addition to listening to our podcast, you can also view the video format on YouTube at GeorgeTube.com. Jay Shetty is an Indian-British internet personality, storyteller, and motivational speaker. He's appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show and the Today Show. His stated goal is to make wisdom go viral as he spreads his message of motivation and positivity. Now, in today's episode, Jay talks about how many of us give up too quickly. We settle too soon. A winner is just basically a loser that tried one more time. Jay says, before you give up, watch this.
This is for anyone who has ever told that their idea would fail. By their parents, by their teachers, by their bosses. For anyone who's ever heard the words, "It's not good enough." The interesting thing is, those opinions didn't change the world, but the people behind the ideas did. They said this was unworthy of the attention of practical or scientific men. They were talking about the light bulb. They said she doesn't have a special perception or feeling. They were talking about Anne Frank's diaries. Imagine if German philosopher Leibniz, Charles Babbage, Alan Turing, John von Neumann, and Grace Hopper didn't believe that their world was going to contribute to something, even if they never saw it. That's the computer, by the way. And what if Rosa Parks and Coretta Scott King didn't fight and stand up for civil rights? The world might look a little different today. Now, you may not even recognize some of those names. They may not even be in your history books, but they had an impact. They made a difference. They transformed and changed people's experiences. And remember, your idea will live longer than you. And today we need these ideas more than ever to create a sustainable planet, to improve global health, to feed 9 billion. Actually, I have a challenge for you. What's the craziest thing you could think of? An idea that could change the world. Maybe you'll build a shoe store out of old shoes. Maybe you'll use plastic bags to create solar-powered backpacks for kids. Maybe you'll create robotic airplanes that distribute medicines to remote places. Now, those ideas sound impossible to be true. The craziest thing? They've all been done. It's amazing what we can do when our passions meet a purpose greater than ourselves. So that's why we need to explore our curiosities, invest in what interests us, follow what intrigues us. Transformational ideas can come from anywhere and anyone, and that's why we're chasing genius.
That's awesome. Now, for more from Jay Shetty, simply search YouTube and be sure to go to his website, jayshetty.me. His bestseller book, Think Like a Monk, is available at his website and or Amazon.com. And remember, as the late great Jim Rohn used to say, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Today I've been hanging out with Jay Shetty. Keep up the momentum. Subscribe to our newsletter so you never miss another episode. We'll catch you on the next show. And thanks a million for listening. See ya.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Expect Success Podcast with your host, George Bollick. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please rate, subscribe, and review. And find more great content online at GeorgeBollick.com and on Facebook and Twitter at George Bollick. We'll catch you next time. And remember, don't just expect success, prepare for it.